ValveTime.net.
Hi, and welcome to the ValveTime news for February 2nd, 2016, where we'll be recapping the latest news regarding Valve and the community. With the Valve-sponsored Shanghai Major Dota 2 tournament coming up in just over a month, it's about time Valve released the event's compendium, which occurred earlier this week on January 27th. While we're still not going to cover many of the details of the seasonal majors, this event's Battle Pass has had enough of an effect on the game's economy that we feel it's worth mentioning. Although it does contain a seasonal compendium, the Battle Pass's main feature is actually cosmetic items and minigames, which are some of the most detailed and interesting Dota 2 has ever featured. The main new feature is seasonal quests, which form 3 gameplay-oriented paths with various objectives scattered among them to be completed by playing either the support, solo, or carry roles. Completing these objectives and paths, you will be rewarded with battle points and cosmetic items while also contributing to a global points pool, which once filled up will award all owners of specific item sets with an alternate skin. A few new UI improvements allow you to check your progress against those of your friends using leaderboards or to win items of varying rarities in a new Wheel of Fortune minigame known as the Winter Blessing, with rewards ranging from item sets to couriers and even arcanas. The match wagering system has also been expanded to include tips awarded to friends or foes upon the completion of a match. Gameplay-themed achievements also return alongside an expanded pass-only variant of the winter-themed map. Other miscellaneous rewards available for purchasing the pass include item sets from new treasures, several couriers, taunts, wards, effigies, and a removal of the 3-month item trade restriction for all winter season items. There's a bunch more details about this Winter Season Battle Pass update for Dota 2 over on our very own article or on Valve's official announcement page should you want more information. That wasn't the only Dota 2 news for this week, however, as Valve also announced they are working on a follow-up to the 2014 Spring Cleaning update, which, like its predecessor, will look to resolve a number of problems and bugs for the game. This new update has likely been brought about as a result of many outstanding problems introduced with the release of the Source 2 client last year. It likely won't feature much in the way of new content, with anything truly new likely being introduced in order to bring some element of the client up to date with some feature previously enjoyed in the Source 1 version. Valve's early announcement of the update was used to request information from the community over on the still active Dota 2 dev forums, with one thread by Daniel Jennings asking for details about economy and UI bugs, among others. If you feel like you have something to share, head on over to the relevant threads to begin your discussions. The update itself will likely arrive sometime in late March or early April based on dates associated with the previously released Spring Cleaning event and the upcoming major tournament. As previously revealed, this past week saw Valve and HTC host the SteamVR Developer Showcase on Friday, January 29, 2016. As anticipated, the event was entirely focused on third-party games for the HTC Vive, with numerous well-established VR titles being joined by some relative newcomers. In total, 12 demos were shown off for 15 minutes each, with only a few representatives from Valve manning the main event. These games include Audio Shield, Hover Junkers, Elite Dangerous, Tilt Brush, Budget Cuts, Space Pirate Trainer, The Gallery Call of the Starseed, Job Simulator, Fantastic Contraption, Arizona Sunshine, Cloudlands VR Minigolf, and Final Approach, with each nicely demonstrating different ways the Vive and its controllers can be used in a full room scale when seated or anything in between. Like most events, it's likely only a few hundred or thousand people were able to attend the event in Seattle, and we think much of the Vive's marketing now depends on Valve and HTC attempting to replicate the same experience across the world in the coming few months, at least on some scale. For the time being, Tested are currently running through a whole series of videos covering every single one of the individual titles shown off at the showcase, so head on over to their channel if any of them has piqued your interest. Oh, and special thanks to ValveTime community member Ironclad for attending the event and keeping us up to date behind the scenes. While we're discussing the Vive, we thought we'd bring up a recent tweet by HTC's Shen, which featured 4 separate images recapping the past year of hardware development for the headset and its peripherals. The images show the 3 different kinds of base stations, a trio of controllers, and both pairs of headsets currently in the hands of developers. It's not exactly anything new, but it is nice to get a closer look at earlier and very rudimentary prototypes for both the base stations and controllers, which have come a long way to say the least. Although it's still likely some ways off, Team Fortress 2's long-in-development competitive matchmaking mode seemed slightly closer this past week with the unveiling of an official Steam group. As the group's description reveals, Valve will be using it to release announcements regarding the mode and to begin seeding invites for an upcoming closed beta. This beta will likely be expanded over time as more and more feedback is provided, with it eventually being opened up as an option for the whole Team Fortress community. While there's little more to say on the subject, this new reveal does at least confirm that 2016 will be the year we get our hands on the competitive mode in some format. A link to the group has been provided in the video description should you want to join the group and its subsequently long queue. In modding news, we were pleased to hear about a new official modification for Black Mesa, which adds an extra 4 new maps in between the game's overly short maps in the On a Rail chapter. The mod, created by Sean Kemp, is somewhat similar to Valve's own Alien Swarm and actually began life as an unofficial project before the creator was picked up by Black Mesa officially. The mod features the same visual style and quality as the rest of Black Mesa and simply requires you to start a new game from the beginning or any chosen chapter should you want to check it out. Like everything else in this episode, a link to the Steam Workshop page for On a Rail Uncut has been provided in the video description, so if you ever feel like playing an official mod for a standalone mod, which is a remake of a game from close to 2 decades ago, now's your chance. And that brings us to the end of this week of Valve and community news. Don't forget to check out our other content, to follow our social media pages, and to join in on the conversations over on the ValveTime.net community forums. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.